Leon was faced with a challenge few dare attempt, his own sister's game. Annoyed for being forced to play the game, he set off to complete the game as fast as possible. But what he hadn't predicted was the toll it would take on his body. 2 days without sleep, and the exhaustion setting in. Just as he was about to leave his apartment, a wave of dizziness hit him, sending him tumbling down the stairs and into a seemingly endless abyss. It seemed that his sister game had been the death of him, but thankfully it wasn't. Because he then wakes up as a 5-year-old Leon Bartfort, a lesser noble. After collecting himself, Leon returned home to find his brother, Nick, explaining to him the dynamic of their society, where women held more power than men. With a newfound understanding, Leon realized to his shock that he was stuck in the game he hated. 10 years had passed since Leon was promised the chance to attend the academy, but it was all suddenly taken away from him and replaced with a much darker fate. He must marry a daughter of a noble. Since our boy is no simp, he decides to run away. After remembering of a S-rank item from the game that would belong to the main character, he tells his father that he wants to borrow an airboat, intending to become an adventurer to earn the money and escape this painful life. After a month, Leon finally found the warp device he remembered from the game. Despite losing his ship, Leon ventured through the warp device and ended up on a mysterious floating island. The island was said to hold a powerful and rare S-rank item, and Leon was determined to get it. Taking the path he remembered from the game, he soon encountered a menacing robot, which he quickly destroyed. Further along his journey, he came upon a lab with a number of corpses and noticed that the names on the tags were written in the same language as those of Earth. Determined to find the item, Leon used a security card from one of the corpses to gain entry to the dock of the lost items. Unknown to what lays ahead, Leon was determined to find the S-rank item, whatever the cost. After an arduous search, Leon had finally found the ancient spaceship he was looking for. His heart raced with a mix of excitement and unease as he stepped inside. Unexpectedly, he is met by an automaton, who proceeds to attack him without warning. Leon manages to prevail in the fight and proceeds to the control terminal of the ship, learning that the robot purpose was to exterminate the new humans. Much to his surprise, the languages on the terminal include Japanese, which surprises the automaton, because new humans don't know that language. Leon then reveals that he was Japanese before his reincarnation, and the automaton recognizes that he has old human blood. The automation accepts him as his new master and Leon names it Luxion. Sometime later, Leon discovered a deserted island. Seeing that it, at best, could reach the level of a baronetcy, a noble, he declared his independence and claimed the island as his own, severing all ties with his family in the process. 2 months later, Leon was surprised to find out that he had been accepted into the advanced class of the academy despite being the third son of a lesser noble. His father explained that his success on his recent adventure had earned him this honor, and that upon graduation, he would become the baron of his own house. Leon complains about it, since he wanted to be a low-key mob. Arriving at the school, Leon quickly found out how much different the world was, especially the fact that women had gained more power than ever before. Everywhere he looked, men walked around with a gloomy expression, a reminder of the power shift. But Leon was determined to find an ordinary girl and have a peaceful life. Suddenly, the 5 main characters appeared and Leon couldn't help but feel a bit annoyed. It had taken him 10 in-game years to get through the game because of them. And then, he encountered the main antagonist of the game, Angelica, a typical rich girl from a noble family. She had a crush on one of the main characters. Leon wasn't too bothered by this, though. He was determined to be a mob character and make it to his first class. Leon was spacing out in etiquette class when suddenly, he was called out by the professor. He asked him to come down for a demonstration. What happened next left him speechless. His teacher's refined mannerisms, elegant poise and grace were awe-inspiring. Leon was moved and accepted his teacher as his master. That same day, Leon invited the second daughter of a baron to a tea ceremony. What he didn't expect was for the girl to arrive with her friends and their servants. In a blink of an eye, the gathering was a disaster. Just as he was about to begin the cleanup, Leon heard screaming from outside the room. He hurried to investigate and saw the girls running away from Olivia, the main protagonist in the game. Unlike other students at the academy, Olivia is a commoner, yet she has been given a special scholarship to attend the school because of her magic power. Despite her hard work and dedication, she is still subjected to bullying from her peers due to her status. Feeling bad for Olivia, Leon decided to take a chance and invite her to his own tea party. To his surprise, she accepted. Little did he know that Olivia was much kinder and considerate than any of his previous guests. After several weeks, Leon was sent to the dungeon as a guard for the prince and his team, alongside Olivia, Angelica, and Marie as part of a class lesson. He and Olivia teamed up, but soon caught wind of yet another argument between the prince and Angelica concerning Marie. It is then that Leon begins to question Marie's motives, as she seems to always take Olivia's spot in the game. Leon and Olivia were sent as vanguards ahead of the other students, but when they encountered giant ants, Leon was up for the challenge. Leon drew his sword, formed from Luxian's magic, until the ants were no more. Unfortunately, he had to be a Chad and protect the girl from a monkey, receiving an arm injury. With a powerful swing, he dispatched the monkey, and Olivia heals him while feeling grateful from someone protecting her. A few days later, Leon was hanging out with Raymond and Daniel. That's when Raymond mentioned the rumors that Angelica was the one behind Marie's bullying, much to Leon's surprise. This was something that was supposed to happen much later in the game. Leon sends Luxian to confirm whether the rumors about Angelica and Marie are true or not, because if Angelica was really trying to crush Marie, then she wouldn't still be alive. Luxian gets back to him and gives him enough information for him to conclude that Marie was reincarnated like he was. At the end of term party, Leon, after falling to find a girl to marry him, he goes to mourn his failure in the courtyard. Olivia comes out, telling Leon to come back inside. When they arrive back in, Olivia explains that an argument between Julius and Angelica is escalating. Angelica was furious because Maria was playing with the 5 men at once, and she loved Julius from the bottom of her heart. After some heated arguments, Leon gets disgusted with Marie wanting a reverse harem ending. At the same time, Angelica challenges Marie to a duel, and the prince and his group decided to act as Marie's representative. Angelica desperately looks around to see if someone will help her and be her representative. Leon initially does not want to interfere, but after remembering the sad fate of the main antagonist, her sad fate in the game was that she will head straight into ruin, marry a backcountry lord with a nasty personality, and ends up living a miserable life. He decides to fight the group out of pure hatred for them. He walks up to the prince and offers to participate as Angelica's representative, which she agrees to. Leon then goes on to make fun of the group, taking joy in Marie's surprise, since she didn't remember existing a character like him in the game. Leon then asks Marie to state her demands if she wins. Marie fakes being cute and asks Angelica to stop being cruel, and for her to stop abusing her power as a duke's daughter, while Angelica's demands are just for her to break up with Julius. Leon suggests an armored duel and the same time taunts them that he will win for sure. They agreed, and the duel will be 5 one-on-one matches. The next day, Angelica had the teachers prepare a room for her to speak to Leon alone. She asked him why he was so adamant about the duel and why he was willing to put his reputation on the line. He says that his image is not good anyways, so it doesn't matter. Surprised, Angelica told Leon that her family wasn't helping her out at all, trying to find if he had some second intentions. Leon smiles and says he is not looking for a duke favor, but simply looking to beat them all up. He went on to tell her that he was sure in his win. Angelica was surprised by Leon's boldness, but she could also see the determination in his eyes. The day of the tournament comes and Leon walks into the arena with his head held high, only to be greeted with a series of insults. But Leon just kept walking unfazed. Angelica asks him where his armor is. Right after, Arrogance lands in the center of the field. Arrogance's appearance is met with laughter from the crowd due to its size, but Leon ignores them as he gets in the armor. Brad steps up to be his first opponent. Brad is a narcissist skilled in magic. He is a proud and attention-seeking brat. So, Leon makes fun of his purple weapon to irritate him. Then he summons his #1 weapon. Wait for it, a shovel. It seems like our boy forgot to change weapons while he was doing some field work. As the match begins, Brad goes with full force against our boy. With a light swing from Arrogance's shovel, he was easily blown away and lost his conscience. And Leon was announced as the winner. It ended just like that. Angelica starts laughing, saying Leon is a terrifying person. And our sweet innocent Olivia says that he is a kind person. Let's like the video, fam, so our Oliva can keep her cuteness. The prince starts to be hurried that Leon must be using a S-rank lost item. The next opponent is Greg, that enters the arena full of confidence and says our boy is a weakling. He charges Leon with a flurry of attacks. Leon blocks all of them before getting angry at Greg for being too prideful to use proper equipment in the game. That made him have a lot of game overs. Leon violently throws Greg off of him and tears into his armor with a ferocity that leaves his opponent helpless. Greg says that he's only winning because of his armor, and Leon makes fun of him for making excuses. He pushes Greg off of him and proceeds to brutally attack his armor, tearing it apart. Greg emerges from his armor and attempts to challenge Leon with a piece of scrap metal, but Leon ridicules his lack of strength and is declared the winner. Chris is Leon's third opponent. lecturers start the match saying Leon should go all out from the start. So Leon begins by releasing drones from every angle to attack Chris, ignoring Chris's concerns about Leon's lack of chivalry. Chris charges after Leon mocks him, but Leon effortlessly catches his sword, snapping off the tip of the blade. Chris collapses on his knees in despair. As Leon mocks him once more, saying he should complain all his hard work to Maria. During the break, Leon runs into Angelica and Olivia. They tell him that Jenna had asked them to check on him. Leon gets surprised, since his sister doesn't give a damn about him. Lakshan then warns him that Jenna was directed by Jilk to plant a bomb on Arrogance. Jilk begins the combat by constructing a smokescreen before sniping Leon with armor-piercing bullets. Seeing as the shells were ineffective, Jilk detonates the bomb. The bomb proven ineffective as well, since Leon was aware of his plan all along. Leon quickly flies up to his opponent and attacks him. Jilk warned Leon that he would be stripped of his titles if he continued to fight the prince, yet says that is exactly what he wants. Desperate, Jilk threatened to make Leon's family pay for his actions, yet Leon had already recorded his words and was using it as leverage. Jilk calls him a coward for recording, but Leon gets fed up with him, mentioning that he planted a bomb on him first. Then Leon overpowered Jilk and knocked him out, leaving him unconscious. Before his match with Julius, Leon asks him what he thinks about Olivia since Julius was meant to be in love with her in-game. But the prince gives an underwhelming answer, saying they hardly know each other. The match began with both Leon and Julius launching attacks against each other. Leon remarked that Julius had more passion than the rest, and asked what it felt like to truly be in love. He says that Leon and Angelica should stay out of other people's matters, giving Leon a glimpse of why Julius fell for Marie. Julius then asked if Leon enjoyed looking down on and lecturing others, to which Leon proudly declared that it did, and that he was entitled to be arrogant. Leon states that he does not care about the prince's problems, and complains about how hard it is for the average men to find a good partner, which earns him admiration from some of the spectators. Leon's opinion of the prince sinks further as he realizes Julius has not, even remotely, considered the consequences of his actions to the kingdom. He then proceeds to beat Julius, demanding an apology for Angelica, but the prince refuses. With his authority as prince, Julius orders a duel to the death and Leon remarks that he could have already killed him, but he would face punishment for slaying a prince, so he has no choice but to forfeit. Leon attempts to explain that picking Marie over Angelica could cost him his right to the throne, but the prince states he doesn't care. Leon then dramatically uses impact to destroy his armor and knock him out, resulting in his victory and inciting the crowd's hatred. After exiting Arrogance, Leon has a brief talk with Angelica and Olivia. Angelica goes to check on Julius. Leon then tells Olivia that he's expecting to get expelled for what he's done. Leon visits Vince and Gilbert Redgrave, the father and brother of Angelica. He offers them wager money from the game in exchange for protection, which Vince accepts. Vince questions whether Leon is willing to drop his status and title, to which Leon says that he is. Gilbert wonders his genuine motivation for giving up all of his accomplishments. Leon contemplates revealing the truth that he intended to beat up the princes and avoid marriage, but rather lies, saying Gilbert that he did it for the benefit of the country, since the prince was being influenced by Maria. Vince agrees with his logic and reveals that he has broken off Angelica and Julius' marriage because he no longer considers the prince worthy of being with his daughter. He then determines that he is sending Angelica to Leon's residence to recover from her shattered heart. Leon leaves thrilled that he is now safe from death and that he may skip the school, marriage, and even his nobility. Little did he know that he would be promoted to a higher rank.